Shifter, welcome back. Welcome. How y'all healing? Um, I am ready to start day 15. Now, I'm doing this outside, so I know how this can turn out, and y'all just ignore the people in the background or something. Um, but I was like, let me try it. Let me try it. Um, so let me make sure. There y'all go. Y'all got your notebooks and pens and papers and all the things. Um, I want to talk about the quiet superpower that often goes unnoticed. Community. The people we surround ourselves with have the power to either pour into us or drain us. Whether it's a tight knit circle, a professional tribe, or your chosen family, the energy of those around you can deeply impact how you think, feel, and show up for the world. Community isn't just about connection, it's about alignment. Are your relationships supporting your evolution or keeping you stuck in survival mode? Are the people around you who challenge you lovingly, hold you accountable, and genuinely celebrate your wins? That is what I want to talk to you guys about today. Welcome to 21 Days for 21 Minutes. I am Clarindria Addison, author, therapist, podcast host, and your guide on this journey of mental wellness and entrepreneurship. If you're just joining me on day 15, I had tasked myself with coming up with something to, um, I guess you could say, hold myself accountable for being able to and although you probably recorded, but at the time I've been trying to consistently be live for 21 days. It came to me in some writing for some journaling that I'm doing, and just about like pushing myself to get to the next level. Um, so here we are, day 15, which means we don't have many more days left. Let me get my notes up here. And I can get started. The power of community. Who's in your circle? So, reasons why you need community. One, they are mentors. And, as adults, we probably say this to our children, you know, and, our peers around, you know, your community does really reflect who you are and who you're becoming. The right people around can, see your blind spots. They can cheer you on, and you what's so when I look about, and I even say this to the people that I'm around. I'm looking to be able to learn and grow, right? And it would be dishonest for anybody who meets people to say, "Oh, I don't want anything," or "I'm not trying to get anything out of the connection or the meeting." That's a lie. Why is that a lie? Because we all want something, right? Whether it's a genuine friendship, whether it's a partnership, in some business, whether it's some education on something that you might know a little bit more about that I don't know about. And of course, that's not, the intention as you're going in when you meet someone, but it's a reality, right? And the reality is we all have something to offer, right? And there's a fine line between you know just kind of right themselves, um, and raise some, commonality and some idea in a friendship or a business partner, whatever. And what does that other person bring to the table? That is just a reality. And again, people are like, one thing I just no, like you want to check on you. Y'all, I don't know what happened. I think I lost internet connection. Um, I know I was getting into about the mirrors and mentors in our community. Um, so I know I was saying something about reciprocity, and hopefully I can go back and try to edit that in the video. But this is live, and this is what happens when you live, you know, on the internet out the country. Um, so I know I was saying something about, when we're meeting people in reciprocity, like there is something that we're all looking for. And again, it doesn't have to be a negative thing, um, but just wanting, as you're building community, like you have to be realistic around what it is that you need, that you're willing to give, that you want offered back. Um, and I know one of the things that I've been working on is being able to um, work on giving what I want to receive. And that doesn't necessarily mean like monetarily or tangible things, but just like I want people to check on me. So I got to call and check on people, as an example. Another thing that we want is emotional support and accountability. Like you want to be surrounded by people who genuinely care, um, provide a safety net when life gets heavy for you, and who is going to nudge you to kind of stay on track. And I think just innately because of what I do for a living, I'm able to do that for peers. And one of the things that I've been in the practice of over the last few years is being vulnerable enough to speak up when things aren't necessarily going well. Or I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, I had a conversation, one of my peers, that we don't necessarily talk on the phone all the time. But when we do talk, it's kind of like we've talked and we've been, we can catch up like that. And over a period of, I'm going to just say 4 to 6 weeks, we had talked here and there. And one time she was like, it's not like something, you keep saying everything is just okay. And I guess that wasn't a normal thing for me to just say like things are okay. And she was like, we got to sit down and like really either do a FaceTime or have a conversation. So that really touched me that she was in tune enough with me to know, like, normally I don't just say I'm okay. Normally I'm like, oh, I'm good, everything's good, da, 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 whatever. So when I was saying that, she was able to pick on that. So that was really something that I could appreciate. And then protection from isolation, healing, and growth can feel lonely, but community reminds us that we're not alone. Um, it breaks down the walls of shame, self-doubt, and burnout by reminding us we're connected to people, right? Um, so just keep that in mind. Those are some reasons. You guys know I always want to give you that. And then I want to give you um, some things to take away. And I'm gonna move through this a little quicker just because of the internet, and I want to make sure that I get you guys what you need from here. Um, so takeaways: your environment influences your evolution, so choose wisely. Um, Quality over quantity when it comes to relationships. Um, you don't need a whole bunch of people, but you do need a group of people that will be able to provide what you need and you provide what they need. Going back to what I was saying earlier. And then you want the right people around you who are going to challenge you, support you, and elevate you. Community is a powerful thing. Let me give you guys an affirmation. I am surrounded by a community that honors my growth, respects my boundaries, and reflects my values. I am surrounded by a community that honors my growth, respects my boundaries, and reflects my values. Y'all got that down? Your journal prompt. Who are three people I feel most aligned with right now and why? And how do they contribute to my emotional, mental, or spiritual growth? And one of the things that I'm going to suggest is that you can, do this in your journal or just on a piece of paper. If it's more than three people, like let's say, for example, you're like, hey, I really got probably six or seven people that I engage with or that I'm around. Write it down and see how they're aligned, right? And sometimes we have to keep in mind that we will grow and transition from people. There's that poem, A Reason, a Season, and a Lifetime. So sometimes people are in our lives to, you know, offer us up, a an experience or lesson that needs to be learned, and then they move on. It doesn't have to be a fallout. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything necessarily negative, but maybe they came into your life for you to have whatever that experience was, and then you move on from there. And I often talk about it is, I say, a lesson or a blessing, right? Like sometimes people are in our lives to, teach us something. We're supposed to learn and grow from that. And sometimes a peer of mine was just saying this too, that you will continue to get the same repeated lesson if you're not picking up what's being put down. Yes, 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 yes. Um, so, in wrapping up, um, as a therapist, I've seen time and time again how powerful it is when someone realizes their healing doesn't have to happen in isolation. The right community doesn't just hold you accountable, it holds space for your evolution. I'm going to say that again. The right community doesn't just hold you accountable, it holds space for your evolution. The right community doesn't just hold you accountable, it holds space for your evolution. Don't be afraid to do a circle check. Who's in your friend circle? You're allowed to outgrow environments that no longer align with where you're headed. And just on the final note, I think that sometimes people might feel bad about that. Or, sometimes you might be in a situation where people leave you and you're like, well, wait a minute. Did something happen? Did I do something? And sometimes those situations, allow for conversation and sometimes they don't. And either way is okay. And I think for you as a person, like if you're struggling with like, they stopped talking to me, I don't know why they did. I always say to pray and release. I've had that happen on a couple of occasions. And some of those situations came back and some of them didn't. And it was kind of like, well, if I know that I didn't intentionally do anything, intentionally try to cause harm, I just have to pray and release. So, I ask that you guys do the same. I hope this topic has been good for you. I hope that you guys are taking notes and keeping up this message, the power of community. Remember, the shift is happening now.